What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Dragonflight gold making video. So today we are continuing our Dragonflight professions guide type of series where I'm covering how to make gold with different professions in Dragonflight, and we haven't covered all professions yet, so we have to continue this one until we've covered, well, as many as possible at least. And for today we're covering tailoring. Tailoring has quickly become one of my favorite professions in this expansion to make gold with, and today I thought I would take you through my gold making process, and I'm trying to divide this into a 3-step category. So you have the very easy barrier or low barrier to entry crafting methods that pretty much anyone can start doing right off the bat, and then you have the medium barrier to entry, so things where you have to get some renowned levels, for example, or where you have to spend some knowledge points and so on. Basically you have to jump through some hoops to start doing them. And then you have the high barrier to entry crafts where you have to have like 19 or 20 renown levels, and you have to go actively out of your way to obtain recipes that are somewhat difficult to obtain in order to make gold. But I will tell you right now, even if you don't want to spend any time setting things up, you can start making some okay profits right off the bat by having tailoring, which is pretty good if you ask me. But before we go through all the crafts, I do want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's picked up my Dragonflight gold guide so far. The feedback and the support has been insane, and I can't thank you guys enough. But I'm just so happy that you are happy with the product, and I'm so happy we're able to make gold together. Now, by purchasing this gold guide, not only are you getting access to the guide itself, you're also getting access to a private Discord server where you're getting early access to videos and exclusive videos as well. And right now we have found what I think is the best gold farm or gold making method in Dragonflight. At least in terms of gold per hour, we have found the best gold farm so far, and that one you will get early access to by checking out my gold guide. The reason for doing this is twofold. Now, first of all, it is highly based on supply versus demand metrics, so the more people know about it, the more supply there will be, and then the less it will be way less possible to do the farm itself, if that makes sense. So we're trying to limit the actual supply here. Now, we also want to maintain the gold per hour, so by purchasing the guide and getting access to that farm, you will have access to it while the gold per hour is as high as possible. So I'm trying to just make sure you're getting as much gold per hour as possible, giving you as much as possible back for the time you're putting in, basically. Either way, if you want access to that one, the link will be down below, and you don't have to take my word for it. I've gathered some feedback from other people who purchased the guide as well, so you can check out their feedback if you want some external feedback to help you make your decision. Either way, with that being said, let's take a look at how to make gold with tailoring this expansion. And obviously this will change from patch to patch, so this will be based on phase 1 or patch 1, the first patch of Dragonflight, and how to make gold right now. So if you're watching this video like 3 months into the future, the gold making methods might have changed, but some of them might still be profitable as well, so keep an eye out. Either way, let's talk about it. So for tailoring, you have a few different crafts that you can do, and let's start this off by doing the low barrier to entry crafts. Now, first of all, you have a weekly quest for tailoring that will give you a lot of super easy gold, and so far the weekly quests have always been to provide some sort of crafted item. So that is either going to be the Surveyor's Cloth Robe, which was last week. This one right here was selling for 800 and 300 gold last week. You can see personally I bought some of them last week for 800 gold, so they're selling for a lot of gold when they're the weekly quest, because it makes sense, right? You can pay 1.6k gold, get 3 knowledge points for tailoring, get some artisan's metal, and not everyone bothers to purchase the materials to craft the items themselves. They just opt to pay straight up for the item. This week the weekly quest is to craft something called, if I can just scroll down to professional garments, professional equipment, we have the Wildercloth Chef's Hat. This is currently the weekly quest right now, and you can see the min buyout for this one is 824 gold, and right now if I'm crafting this one, I'm making 741 gold profit from a baseline craft taught to you by your trainer. And crafting this one at the maximum skill requires 80 skill in tailoring, which you can either get by just having tailoring, skilling it up normally, or you can simply just use some knowledge points that you're getting by doing first time crafts. But here's the thing, when you're selling these ones, which are used for the weekly quest, people don't care that much about the quality. If I search up for Chef's Hat right now, all 3 qualities are selling for the exact same price, and people don't care that much about what they pay for. So if you only have the skill to craft a 326 one, you can craft a 326 one and maybe like undercut by 1 silver or 1 gold to make it pop at the top, and then you will get a lot of sales that way as well. So for these ones, your skill doesn't matter at all, and you can make a lot of gold super quickly, especially like in the startup process. Getting 741 gold profit per craft is pretty huge, by the way, especially for a weekly quest where people need these items, and there's going to be a constant demand every single week for these items. Very low barrier to entry on that one. Now let's talk about some medium barrier to entry. And for this one, I want to pay attention to the Crimson Combatant items. Some of these ones are very profitable, some of them are not profitable. It is going to be very varied based on your server. So take a look on your server and see the price of these Crimson Combatant items, and then see if they're worth crafting for you. So for example, the bands right here are getting me 622 gold profit, while the cloak, this one is the best one for me personally, giving me 2.5k profit. And even if I just scroll down, I don't think anything is going to give me that amount of profit, but the cloaks are selling in the masses because everyone needs cloaks. But when it comes to bracers, the bracers are cloth bracers. So when it's a cloth bracer, it's limited to which classes can use cloth, but for the cloaks, everyone can use the cloaks. So for this one, we're getting the highest profit margins and the highest amount of sales as well. So if there's one item to take a look at, it is the Crimson Combatant's Wildercloth Cloak. We also have the gloves, for example, giving me 425 gold profit. We have the hood giving me 798 gold profit. We have the leggings giving me almost 1.1k gold profit. The sash is only 50 gold profit, so not worth crafting. We have the shoulder pants, which is 100 gold profit, so for me that is also, once again, not worth crafting. 1.6k though for the treads, so this one right here would be worth crafting. And the tunic, 38 gold profit, so not worth crafting. Either way, take a look at all these items on your server and determine which ones are worth crafting for you. Now, the reason why I put these ones in the mid barrier to entry is that you have to purchase the recipes to craft them. So there is some barrier to entry here, but the only barrier to entry is actually a gold amount of barrier to entry. And right now, some clown just put this one up for 75 gold, so I'm sniping that one. So 75 gold for the Wildercloth Cloak pattern. I usually pay, you can see I purchased 4 of them, and I've been paying 4,000 to 5,000 gold every single time. So 75 gold, I'm definitely going to take that one. But you can see the prices here varies from 2,000 gold to 8,000 gold, so just take a look at them, see how much they cost and how quickly you get your investment back, and make a decision if it's worth for you to pick that one up. I do think the cloaks are always worth picking up, and then just take a look at what other items are profitable here. It is just a super easy way to expand how many items you're crafting, and the more different unique items you're crafting and posting on the auction house, the more sales you will get on a daily basis, giving you more gold as well. Now let's talk about a category that kind of spans both into the low barrier to entry and high barrier to entry at the same time, and that is crafting bags with tailoring. Crafting bags with tailoring can be very profitable, and because the bags are on a region-wide, not on a region-wide auction house, but the server-based specific auction house, you have to take a look on your server if it's worth doing. And for example, for me, I'm getting 129 gold profit for every single reagent bag that I'm crafting, and for regular Wildercloth bags, I'm getting 46 gold profit as well. Usually on a daily basis I can sell about 100 bags of each type of bag, so the Wildercloth bag and the reagent bag. So multiply this one by 100 and you get 4.6k gold, and if you do the same thing here you get about 12 or 13,000 gold as well, just by crafting some bags which are super simple to craft, and you get them from your trainer, and there's no quality on the bags themselves, so your skill don't matter whatsoever. And if you really want to min-max here, you can increase your resourcefulness while crafting, but since you're using so cheap materials, it doesn't matter whatsoever. And the reason why I said that bag crafting spans both for low barrier to entry and high barrier to entry is the Asia Weave Expedition pack right here. This one you can see I'm getting 2.2k profit per craft by crafting. and that is by me not even being set up for crafting this type of bag. So you can see right here, once again I only have 7% resourcefulness, so 57 resourcefulness, and this one right here is actually my Azure Weave and Chronocloth crafting character. So if you want to really min-max yourself and just craft the Azure Weave bag, the one all the way down here, the Azure Weave Expedition Pack, if you really want to min-max and craft this one and get as much profit as possible, I would definitely recommend going into Tailoring Mastery and then go into Sparing Sewing to get +1 resourcefulness per point spent right here, and you also get +10, +10 and +10, and for every of these big marks you save additional resources when proccing resourcefulness. So this one will be massive. And also within textiles you have something called embroidery. I think it's called embroidery, yeah, embroidery right here, which will increase your skill while crafting banners and bags, and also increase your resourcefulness and give you the ability to use an embroidery thread while crafting as well. So if you really want to min-max here, you can definitely do that and make way more profit per bag than I'm making. But personally for me, if I'm making 2,000 gold profit per bag and I'm selling 10 bags every single day, that gives me 22,000 gold profit every single day just by crafting a bag, and I can craft as many of these as I want. Another way to make some very steady gold with tailoring, and this is going to be the lowest risk investment for you. Like all the other ones, you can spend some gold and you can craft something, and by the time you've sold the materials, they might have gone down so much in price that you're not even getting your gold back. Well, now you're using some high selling materials to craft another high selling material, and we're talking about crafting Azure Weave bolts and Chronocloth bolts. This is going to be something that I'm calling a passive gold making method with tailoring, and that is because these ones have a limited quality available and they're recharging at 1 recharge per 16 to 24 hours depending on your talent points. So what I mean by that is that by going into specializations right here and by going to the bottom point, you can now increase how quickly they recharge, or like decrease their cooldown basically, by having these points. And this is going to be like a somewhat high barrier to entry. Now getting one of these, like for example either Azure Weave or Chronocloth, will be super simple, and I actually have a video on how to obtain that in less than 2 hours that is currently available for anyone who's subscribed to my channel. So all you have to do is just subscribe to the channel down below, then go to my channel's main page, and that video will be waiting for you right there. And that is the best way to set up an alt army to make a lot of passive gold throughout the expansion. But if you want to set up both, that is where the high barrier to entry comes in. You will need a bunch of knowledge points right here. So for time weaving and also for Azure weaving, you need to max out draconic needlework to unlock both subspecs. You also want to have textiles for multi-weaving, so multi-crafting right here, to proc multi-craft while crafting to increase the actual profit margins. So right here you can see, for example, I'm making almost 1.5k profit per Azure Weave bolt craft, and I'm also making 1.2 or almost 1.3k gold profit for every single Chronocloth bolt craft. That means that so far I'm making about 3,000 gold every single day just by crafting Chronocloth and Azure Weave, which might not sound like too much, but that is 90,000 gold every single month that I'm getting per character for free just by crafting one craft. And the thing is, I can store up all of these crafts and then craft 30 of them in one go. It is not like I have to log in every single day and do that daily craft. I can log in once a month and make 90k gold every single month, as long as the prices stay the way they currently are. Now, as a final note for tailoring, while I leave you guys to your crafting and gold making, is what I call luxury items. So in this case, that would be toys and battle pets. And for tailoring, that is only toys so far. So you have, for example, the Forlorn Funeral Pal, which is accessible from a recipe that you can buy on the auction house. And you also have Cold Cushion, which is accessible from the Dragon Scale Expedition. You can see for this one, I am not making profits and I'm losing gold every single time. But for the Forlorn Forlorn Funeral Pal, I'm making 7.7k gold profit every single time because the materials right now are super cheap, and this one is selling for 12,000 gold. You can see though that the actual market value is 8.5, so most servers out there are probably making a little bit less gold profit per craft, but all you have to do for this one is just scroll down as much as possible, go to Assorted Embroidery, check out all the toys on your server, and see what's currently worth crafting. So for example, the market tent right here, this one is learned from Garment Crafting Outerwear, and I'm getting 7.2k profit from that one as well. This one, the Caution of Time Travel, you're getting from the Valdrakken Accord at Renown 28, and for this one I'm losing gold once again. We also have the Dragonscale Expedition Tent, getting 2.9k gold profit from that one, and we have the Duck Stuffed Duck Lovey, which is also from the expedition once again, and 8.1k gold profit. These toys though will be on a personal, like on a, not a region wide, but a realm specific auction house, so you have to check if they're worth crafting on your specific server. Either way, that is it for this video and a tailoring gold making guide. Hopefully this helps you make some gold with tailoring, and hopefully it just shows you that there's so many ways to make gold with tailoring, and this is why it's currently my favorite profession. You have a lot of ways to make gold with low barrier to entry, you have a lot of ways with mid barrier to entry, you have a lot of ways with high barrier to entry, you have passive gold making, you have active gold making, you have luxury gold making, you have pretty much everything that I can ask for in one profession. Either way, that is it for the video. Hopefully it helps you make some gold. If it does, please let me know in the comment section down below. And if I made any mistakes, or if you wanted to see anything added to the video, please once again let me know in the comment section down below. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.